Hi there, it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me again on another Simple Stamping Saturday. I do love Simple Stamping Saturday projects. They really get my brain working, which is never a bad thing, particularly at the end of a week. So I'm going to use the Don't Stop Believin stamp set from the new August-December catalogue. If you are in the UK and don't have a catalogue and don't work with another demonstrator, by all means let me know and I will very happily send one to you free. If you go to my website, which is linked below, and then go over to the catalogue tab, you'll find there's a form there to fill in and just request a catalogue. I normally just email back just to make sure that you genuinely want to have a catalogue from me and that you are looking to order from me, which is always quite nice if I send you a catalogue. Anyway, so I've seen quite a few projects with the Santa Claus, Father Christmas, whichever you want to call him, St. Nicholas. But I've not seen many with these two. And I have to say, when I saw this, I instantly thought of Olaf from Frozen and the song he sings about summer, and particularly the lines, "Put me in summer," no, that's not right. "Winter's a good time to stay in and cuddle. Put me in summer and I'll be a happy snowman," or actually one of these. So that kind of got my brain working on how I could embrace that whole idea. So here we have, sadly, Frosty's first cocoa turned out to be his last, ... So it's sort of there. Anyway, and on the cover, on the front of the envelope, I've just got the cocoa, which I hope might just intrigue people. So I've got a Whisper White note card, and I've mounted up my Sadly and my puddle. So I'm going to ink up my puddle first with Memento ink. So let's do that and pop my puddly snowman down in the corner. I do like to hold the stamp there for a reasonable length of time, particularly on this thicker Whisper White. It just helps the ink transfer across. And then our sentiment. The smooth Whisper White is it's specifically rolled to take ink really well, so you don't have to worry so much about it transferring across. But if you're using either the thick Whisper White or thick Very Vanilla or any of the coloured cardstock, it is worth just holding the stamp in place for a wee while. And these are obviously the thick. Now I'm just cleaning this off because I also want to stamp the envelope, and I have an easy-ish way of doing that. So let me get a new envelope. So this needs to dry anyway. So if you've got, and I've done this before, if you've got one of the black Stampin' Right markers, which are sold singly, you can just ink up your cocoa and huff and just stamp. And there is just your cocoa. So always worth remembering that Stampin' Right markers, you can ink up specific areas. Right, so for the colouring, I am going to use one of the sets of watercolour pencils, and I'm going to use the set 1, which is the one that's got black and white in it. Not that I specifically, well, I do need black, but just to denote that it's that one. So this set has more pencils in it. I denote the difference between the two by whether or not they've got a piece of washi tape round. So I then know whether I'm crossing barriers or not. Now, you don't have to use a blender pen for this particular project. I'm actually not using a huge amount of the pencils anyway, but you could, if you wanted to, add the blender pen, and I will show you where I would use it in a moment. I think for the hat, it's not necessary. I think for most of it, it's not actually necessary. Right, I was using the Pacific point, there we are, for the ribbon around his hat. Then, I know it's in here, unless I didn't put it away. There it is, Old Olive, which is for the leaves. Now, garden green may be a better colour, but I wanted to stick to one set of watercolour pencils, and then real red for the berries, pumpkin pie for his nose, because obviously that's a carrot. Oh, I need the Pacific point out still. Early espresso is there. So that's for his arms. There we go. And also for the cocoa, which I'll do softer, so less intense. Grey, basic grey. And all I'm doing with the basic grey is adding some shading where there is shading, and then under the hat, because that would cast a shadow. And that is where, oh, and I was going to put some just there as well. That is where, if I were using a blender pen, I would blend. So just very gently blend the edges of those shaded areas, just to soften it a bit. Just be very careful when you're doing under his hat that you don't pick up any of the black. I'll do that before I then add, let me just wipe that off. Then I can add my Pacific point without worrying about that bleeding into the smoky slate. And there we go. It is as easy as that. So really quick, but really, really sweet little Christmas card. Oh, I left one of my watercolour pencils out when I put the others away. Can soon deal with that. So there we are. That is our little card for my quick, easy, simple, haven't got much time. I mean, we're at 8 minutes, including me waffling. You could obviously colour your mug on the front as well, but that is about as simple as it gets. So if we then step it up a bit, I have introduced the stamp set from last winter, which is in the annual catalogue, and it's the Snowman Season set. It's very similar in style to the snowman in the Don't Stop Believin', the other drawings. So these drawings are very much more, well, no, let's go the other way. This and these are very much more sketchy, or certainly can be seen as sketchy. So I've used the Snowman Season and the matching punch, which is the Snowman Builder Punch, which again is in the annual catalogue. I've put some Seaside Spray card behind. This is the Smooth Whisper White, and then I've used blends to colour in. I've punched from Early Espresso and Pumpkin Pie the arms and the nose, and then I've added some of our lovely adhesive backed snowflakes, just 3 there, and I've added a ... So sadly Frosty's first hot cocoa turned out to be his last, and then you open up and there is the same image of him having melted. So that's my casual crafter. So we've just added some coloured cardstock, a few blends, but you could use the watercolour pencils just as well, and a little more humour, purely because we can. And then for my avid crafter, I've added from the Warm Hugs stamp set this mug, which is a die cut, because then it mirrors the mug that we've got on the inside. I've added some hills just by using the same Seaside spray, a mask, which is just a tatty piece of cardboard, and a sponge dauber. And you just very lightly, now let me see if I've got something I can, let me find a scrap piece of paper. Oh, we can use it, we can use this. So this really is a scrap piece of paper. So all I have done is taken my mask, and if I do it here, you'll get the idea. I have put some glycerin on my dauber, because for me that makes it so much easier. And I have very, very gently, and I mean really gently, just gone just over the edge of the mask. Actually, I've done it heavier here, but you see what I mean? You just build up that. So if we come in here, we can put another hill in, just there. Let me see if I can line that up again. That's about right. And just do a little bit more for you. But you just build up your hills just by using, as I say, a tatty piece of cardboard and a sponge dauber. The glycerin helps. It's not a requirement, but it does help. So I have also added here, so I've got the snowflakes again, but I've also added one of our red rhinestones. And again, we've just got the same image on the inside. So that is my quick and simple, more involved casual and avid crafter versions of the same card, which I hope you enjoy. And as I say, it just reminded me of poor Olaf, who really did not understand that if a snowman gets hot, things go sadly wrong. And for me, it also brought back memories of going to Orlando with Stampin' Up! When they celebrated their 30th anniversary, and as one of their leaders, I was allowed to go at their cost to Epcot. And some of my demonstrator friends and I went on the Frozen ride at Epcot, and it was such fun, and Olaf was there too. So this also brings back some really fond memories of time with Stampin' Up! Friends at a time when we could be with Stampin' Up! Friends, as opposed to these weird times we are in at the moment. But we still do that virtually, so it's still great fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, I would be thrilled if you would give me a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave those below. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, if you could hit the subscribe button, that would be amazing. And if you hit the alert bell as well, you'll be notified when I post my videos. They're not always the same time every single day. I do some other times if I'm involved in a blog hop or I'm part of a design team, then obviously I will fit in with everybody else. Anyway, have a splendid weekend. I hope you have reasonable weather wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. I have no brain. Bye!